Oh, shh. Good job, Steve. Hey guys, it's Steve. Thank you for joining me. Today we've got a bit of a different video. I know my first couple have been basically rips from my stream. This is something a bit different. I put a message out on Twitter and Instagram and said, hey, send me your assumptions about me and I will react to them on a video. So that's what I'm going to do today. Hopefully you find it a bit interesting. We'll see what you guys assume about me. Hopefully nothing bad. We might as well just get right into it. I assume that you live in London, and if you don't, you really want to move there. So, incorrect. Where I live is technically within London, but I think what you meant by the question is inner London, which is like the city centre. I don't live there, and I really don't want to live in the centre of London. As I've gotten older and as my family's grown, kind of want to move more away from London, somewhere a bit quieter. Where I live right now, we're right on a busy main road, so there's a lot of traffic noise. Really, I just want to get somewhere, not like kind of completely out there, but yeah, definitely not in London. I assume you've always liked gaming. Correct. I have liked gaming since I was a very young child. The first computer I remember having was a BBC Micro, black and white monitor, and obviously nothing near what we have now. But then the first actual console that I had was a Sega Mega Drive. So I was a Sega kid. Used to get so angry whenever I'd lose all my lives. But yeah, so as long as I've been able to kind of use controllers and stuff, I've played video games and I've been a massive fan. Okay, so the next assumption, I assume that you try too hard to be liked despite your overwhelmingly natural likability. I think there's a compliment in there somewhere. It sounds like it. I have a natural likability, but I don't feel like I do, so therefore I try too hard to be likable. I guess that's what you're trying to say? How could I possibly answer that? I have no idea whether or not that's the case. Maybe? Put that as a maybe. Okay, so the next one says, I assume that you're happy, but have struggled to unlock the self-love level of life. Yeah, absolutely right. 100%. I am absolutely very happy, but it did take me a while to get here. And having self-confidence issues, it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, do you know what? I am happy with who I am and what I am. I've got an amazing family. I have amazing support. I'm very happy now, but it did take a while to get there. Oh, this next one's an interesting one. I assume that you want to have more kids. Very bold assumption to make. Yes and no. I would love to, but probably not going to happen. Like having 2 children in your household is manageable. For example, we couldn't keep with our 5-seater car because there's no way you'd fit myself, my wife, and 3 kids in the back. So we'd have to get a bigger car. It will cost more in mileage, and that's just one part. And we've got one of each, so we're blessed. We really are very lucky. Next assumption says, I assume that you don't put yourself first as much as you should. Again, that's another one of those ones that I don't know. How can I answer that? Really don't know. I assume that you live in London, and if you don't, you really want to move there. So, incorrect. Where I live is technically within London, but I think what you meant by the question is inner London, which is like the city centre. I don't live there, and I really don't want to live in the centre of London. As I've gotten older and as my family's grown, kind of want to move more away from London, somewhere a bit quieter. Where I live right now, we're right on a busy main road, so there's a lot of traffic noise. Really, I just want to get somewhere, not kind of completely out there, but yeah, definitely not in London. So the next assumption is, I assume that your family is the only thing that currently makes you truly happy. No, absolutely not. My family make me very happy, but they're not the only thing that makes me happy. Next assumption, I assume you don't believe in things like star signs and horoscopes. 100%, yep, correct. I don't believe in that stuff at all. No shade on people that do, but for me, this, just I don't see how being born at a certain time of the year means you have a certain character type. Okay, so the next one. This one's interesting. I assume you were really nervous to become a dad at first. Yeah, 100%. Interestingly enough, though, I was more nervous to become a dad the second time. And I think that's because I was more aware of what could go wrong. So I was far more nervous for the second child than I was for the first. I assume you really care about a lot of people, but don't know how to show it. Yes, it's true. I care a lot about many people, and I don't always know how to show it. I love my family, sister and brother, my nieces, my in-laws, my extended family, all of that. I love them so, so, so much, but I never really tell them I love them. And I don't know if this is just me or if there's lots of families that it's like this. Like, it's not something that we really say to each other. And I don't know if that's normal. Maybe it is. I mean, we're all adults, we're all grown up, so it's not like we live together or anything. It's so strange, and it feels weird for me to say it because I do. But like, yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys, like, is that something that you kind of say? I don't know. Weird. All right, this one's a really interesting one. This one is actually related to the Twitch stream. I assume that you think that I am the best moderator, but you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Not answering that one. Moving on to the next one. I assume that you say you aren't a dog person, but you love every dog you see. I definitely say I'm a cat person. Like, when I was a child, we had cats. I really love cats. We want to have cats. Every dog that I've met, like all my friends' dogs, or, you know, if we're out and about and there's a little dog that comes up and starts being all cute and stuff, I'm always like, oh, he's a cute little doggy. So yeah, probably. But yeah, I'm just absolutely not a dog person. Okay, so keeping with the stream theme. I assume you have favorites in stream. No, not at all. Not true at all. I really don't have favorites. I love all the guys that come along and hang out with me and have an amazing time. We have so much fun together. Everyone has their own personality and everyone brings that to the stream. It's amazing, and I'm so blessed to have the fantastic community that I have. Sorry if you thought you were a favorite. Okay, this one's again starting to get a bit deep and touching on, I guess, personal, like, people's personal insecurities and stuff. So I assume that you're so harsh and negative to yourself that when others are nice to you, it comes as a shock. I wouldn't say I'm harsh and negative to myself. I think I'm just doubtful of myself as an entertainer and a streamer. I've never considered myself to be someone that people would want to watch and engage with. So when people come on stream and, you know, watch me and follow me and come back week after week, day after day, I'm like, why? Why? I guess you're kind of right in that assumption. Next assumption is, I assume you used to be self-conscious about being bald, but you got used to it. Yeah, absolutely right. I wouldn't say I was like self-conscious about being bald. I didn't like the fact that I started thinning and going bald at the age of 22. But I had a lot of hair and then it started thinning. So the first place it started thinning was like here, started receding, and then by that point it's like getting so thin. So I remember like the first day that I shaved it all off, and then obviously growing the beard out really helps. Best decision I ever made. Like, it was so much better. My advice to anyone who is thinning or balding, get rid of it, you'll be fine. And you know what, who cares, it's all good. Okay, this one's a funny one. I assume you're secretly a Pokemon trainer IRL. Sadly, no, I wish I was. I love Pokemon so much. I wish Pokemon were real, but nope. Not a Pokemon trainer IRL. Okay, so this one's an interesting one. I assume that you're musically inclined, and also the next one actually I just seen. I assume you can sing well. So we got a 2 for there. I would say no, yes, maybe. My family are very musical. All of my nieces actually sing, and they sing incredibly well. They've really all got beautiful voices. My brother-in-law can sing. The only ones who really can't sing, and I'm sorry about this, bro, but like my brother, my mum, forget about it. And me, I don't know. I don't think I'm the best singer. I can sing a bit, I can hold a tune, I can carry a tune, but I'm not great. I've dabbled in music production, you know, on Fruity Loops and Ableton, and I've made a couple of like tracks here and there that I haven't released. I've just, you know, played around for myself. And I've got a bass guitar that I taught myself to play a few things. So like, I wouldn't say I'm musically inclined, but I definitely have like interests in music, I guess. So yes and no, maybe. Next one, I assume you hate sparkling water. Okay, so this is a spillover from the stream. We were talking about this on stream, and it seems like most of the people in the poll think like me. I don't hate sparkling water. I just think it's pointless. Water is so good on its own. Water is the purest drink that you could have. Why add CO2? You're basically drinking CO2, and that's what you're tasting. And then I get people who say, I really like to have sparkling water with juice added or with other flavors. Yum yum. Bitch, please. It's not sparkling water then, is it? You've just made sparkling juice. The best water-based drink is water. That's all there is. And you could say, oh, I love sparkling water. Fine. Do you really love sparkling water more than you love water? Like, imagine you wake up 3 a.m., you're warm and you're parched and you just want to drink. Do you reach for bottled sparkling water, or do you go for the still water that's on your bedside table? 3 a.m., still water, be hitting different. It's just a fact. You know it's a fact. Don't even try and argue it. Okay, so this one's a follow-on from the previous question from a different person. I assume that you secretly like sparkling water, but you don't want to get cancelled for this opinion. First off, I don't hate sparkling water, and yes, I can drink it, and it's not like offensive to me, but you can't say that sparkling water is better than still water. That's it. Next question here. Okay, so this one's, it's going to be hard for me to answer this one, but I assume you're a really hard worker. For anyone who doesn't know, I have ADHD and was diagnosed with ADHD quite late in my life. It was only about 1.5 to 2 years ago I was diagnosed formally with ADHD. So up until that point, all of my life, I had ADHD but didn't know it. So all of my life, I've always looked at other people who study and work hard, and people who can sit at their desk day in, day out, 7.5 hours a day, 8 hours a day, even more, and they can just work. And I've always been jealous of how can they do that. I can't do that. I can't stay in my seat for long periods of time. Even if I'm working and I'm engrossed, like, it's hard for me to keep that focus, even with medication. So when people say like, oh, I assume you're a hard worker, I don't feel like I'm a hard worker. I feel like all of my effort goes into controlling and trying to manage my attention regulation, and then what's left goes into the work. So for me, the hardest part about working is staying focused and staying on task. I look at people, again, like my nieces, they do so much, and I'm like, how the frick can you do that? Because I feel like I'm just barely keeping my head above water. I have very, very hard time identifying myself as a hard worker. Other people might call me a hard worker. They might think, yeah, Steve's a hard worker. I don't know. I personally don't feel like I'm a very hard worker because I struggle so much with the attention regulation caused by my ADHD. So yeah, interesting question, or interesting assumption. I assume that you pour your milk first. On my stream, we have a thing called cereal time. I'm a big fan of cereal. I have it as a snack in the evenings, and on stream, when I'm gonna grab myself a bowl, I'll be like, hey guys, it's cereal time. If you've got a favorite cereal, go and grab it, blah, 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 all of this stuff. What this person is assuming is that I pour the milk into the bowl and then the cereal. Not a frigging chance. I don't know anyone that does that, and if you do, that's just weird. Okay, so another food-related one. I assume that you secretly love McDonald's. No, I openly love McDonald's. I assume that you confuse your kids. Are you saying that I confuse them for each other, or are you saying that I am confusing to them? I don't confuse them for each other. They probably do find me very confusing. Okay, so these next two are actually related to each other. So first, I assume that you enjoy watching the Sidemen, and second, I assume that you liked Simon when you first met him. For anyone who doesn't know who the Sidemen are, they're a group of YouTubers, one of which is Simon, and Simon is in a relationship with one of my nieces, so that's why both of those assumptions have come up. With regards to enjoying the Sidemen content, yep, absolutely, it's really good. Who doesn't enjoy it, right? But as for whether or not I liked Simon when I first met him, yeah, he's a lovely guy. He's absolutely just the sweetest guy. Yeah, he came to dinner. We had a family meal. He came to the family meal, and he's just, I mean, he's just a normal guy, right? Honestly, like, him and my niece, they just look so happy together. So it's just really nice to see that too. So yeah, you're correct about that. Okay, I assume that you don't like Simon. Well, as we discussed, that's incorrect. I do like Simon. I assume you'll be wanting a cup of tea soon, preferably made by my fair hands. That's from my wife. Absolutely, yes. I would always love a cup of tea or coffee, made by your fair hands. Such a sweetheart. I assume that when you're interested in something, you put 110% of your efforts into it, be it a hobby or goal. You can't put more than 100% effort in. But obviously, aside from being a complete facetious knob about the 110%, yeah, that is true. I have a lot of interests, mostly caused by the ADHD and like just being hyper focused on things for periods of time. Basically, this was all in like the span of 1 year. I was hyper-focused on fountain pens, calligraphy and handwriting, longboards, skateboards, bass guitar, music production, coffee, hand roasting coffee, gourmet cooking, succulents, video game development, mini figures and like miniature painting, bullet journaling, and that's all within like just 1 year. And when I say like hyper focused, I mean like I would spend 2 weeks to a month engrossed in that topic and reading everything about it and subscribing to the subreddit, looking at all the kit and equipment, and in some cases buying stuff that I sadly now don't use. And the most recent thing that's kind of come around was I was randomly scrolling through my timeline, and someone just retweeted a book for Micro Machines collectors that basically is like a compendium of all the Micro Machines that were released, so that, you know, if you're a collector, you can see which ones you don't have and find it. I've never been a collector of Micro Machines. I had them when I was a kid, and I hadn't thought about them until that moment. And as soon as I saw that book, I was like, damn, I need to buy some Micro Machines now. Luckily, I am able to understand what I'm doing now, and so I'm not investing financially in these things anymore. But yeah, Micro Machines is the latest one. So yes, when you say like, do I give 110% of my focus to stuff? Yeah, when I'm really into it, absolutely. So yeah, great assumption, and a hell of a lot of talking from me on that one. Moving on, the next one. I assume that you have a favorite moderator in your streams. Again, as we've discussed, nope, no favorites, no favorite mods. I assume that you hate your pink beard. Very much incorrect. I love this beard. I just wish it would naturally grow this color, because this, I feel like this is me now. I really do. So yeah, no, you're wrong about that one. I assume you like to wear shorts. Heck yeah, who doesn't like to wear shorts? I assume that you've gotten a piercing / tattoo. Yep, both. I have an ear piercing in my lobe, and I have one tattoo, which is a star on my arm. But I would love to get a full sleeve. I'm not in a rush. I assume that you prefer Mario over Luigi. No, I prefer Luigi. I don't know why. There's something a little bit sad about him, because he's like, oh, I'm Luigi. I'm tall and thin, and Mario, he always gets the women. There's something about him I find kind of endearing, I guess. So, last one. This is a really big one to end with. This person assumes that I hate Disney. Couldn't be more wrong. I love Disney. When Aladdin came out, I was like, Aladdin is my favorite. But yeah, like, I love Disney. I don't know why anyone would not like the Disney films. All right, guys, so that'll about do it for today. Thank you, everyone who sent in your assumptions about me. That was really cool. I really enjoyed doing that. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other assumptions that you would like me to react and respond to. If you liked this video, please drop a like. Hit the subscribe button if you're not currently subscribed. It would really help me out. I'm currently trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And don't forget, you can always catch me on Twitch. I stream almost every day of the week. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Shtev, S-H-T-E-V. I'll put a link in the description below, and it'll be easy to find. Also, Shtev21 on Twitter, Shtev21 on Instagram. And I'll catch you next time. Stay safe. Love you all.